Hey everybody, Tiffany here coming at you with our nutrition share session. Today is going to be focused on portion control, which is super hard, especially now because we're all sitting at home. So we're like, oh, 6 handfuls is fine. No. So here's some tips so you guys can just be mindful of how much you're eating when you are eating. So first tip is using a smaller plate. A lot of the times we get these like nice big round plates or these, big square plates, and we put all this food on here, and then kind of like the plate looks more empty. So honestly, like our brain is thinking, oh, we need to fill this plate. So if you have pretty plates, use the smaller versions of them so that your food is actually taking up more room on the plate. That way, when you visually look at it, your conscious is saying, yes, okay, this plate is full. This is enough food for me. So that's one tip that you can start with. Reading the labels of your foods, anything that you're eating, snacking on, or anything like that. Make sure you know how much a serving is, a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, a cup, because not all packaging comes in one serving. So if you get like, a big bag of chips, it'll usually say, serving size is, 13 chips, but there's 100 chips in the bag. So make sure that you're actually reading those labels and making sure that you are learning what the serving size is, so you can actually see, okay, you can eat the whole bag of chips, but the serving size, the recommended, is 13. So what you would have to do is, if you decide, okay, if there's 13 servings in this bag of chips, you have to actually multiply the calories times that serving. So sometimes one serving is, like 150 calories or something. Now you have to multiply that by 13 because you ate the whole bag, and that whole bag was the full servings of, the chips. So just be careful when you're looking at your labels. Just be mindful of that as you grab stuff off of the shelves and as you cook and all that stuff. Just be careful. Also, drinking a glass of water, an 8-ounce glass of water before you eat your meal, is really beneficial when it comes to portion control, because once you have that water, your body absorbs that water and it, is hydrated, but that's also a cushion for your stomach. So when you start eating, you've already got, your stomach is partially full with that water. So now that you start eating, you're actually going to be able to eat less and be more satisfied because you've already kind of filled that tank, if you think about it like that. So be careful with that as well. Just 1 glass of water. If you want to do 2 glasses of water, that's fine. But drinking water before will help you to feel that feeling of satisfaction quicker than if you were to not have any water at all. And try to make it a habit to drink water with all of your meals instead of drinking, sugary drinks and all that stuff. Try just when you're eating, because you're getting enough calories from the food. So try drinking only water when you eat. Also, and this is a time for takeout right now. All the platforms are telling you to order from your local restaurants, which I totally think is great. We want to keep our local businesses running, but we want to make sure that when we get those to-go plates, that we actually plate them. So number one, we take them out of those styrofoam containers or those, biodegradable cardboard containers or whatever they come in, and we actually put them on a plate that's smaller than usual than we would actually use. We put them on a small plate so we can actually see, because sometimes when we get takeout food, there is more than 1 serving on there. The portion sizes are not going to be, to standard every time, like 1 tablespoon of this and, 6 ounces of this. No, they're going to just load that up because they want you to get what you're paying for. So make sure when you do eat takeout food that you do put it on a plate, and you'll see that you actually may have 2 to 3 servings that you can actually eat once you're plating it, rather than just eating that whole thing in one sitting and being full and then regretting and all that other stuff that comes with it. Next is going to be stop eating when you're satisfied. Probably a lot of people have this problem. I know that I struggle with this too. Sometimes you just eat so fast because you feel like you're so hungry that you just are like, oh, nope, I want some more food. I'm going to keep eating. But the issue is, what is the right portion size, Irina? I will get to that. But the issue is you need to take your time when you're eating. That's why it's important to have that water with it, because the more you take your time with your food, the more you'll be able to notice, okay, I'm not as hungry as I thought I was. I'm feeling kind of fine. Like, I don't really have feelings of hunger anymore. Like, I'm good. So one of the techniques is every time you take a bite of something, actually put it down, like physically put it down, put down your fork, put down your spoon, sit down, maybe take a sip of water in between every bite, and that will help you to not eat so much of the food that you're trying to consume. So we have a question. Irina says, what is the right portion size? Well, it really depends on what you're eating. Meat is going to be different portion sizes than vegetables. You can go to myplate.gov. I think it is. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I can put it in the description after we're done with the live. And that will really help you to see what your portion should be as far as vegetables, as far as whole grains, as far as protein and stuff like that. And the thing is like, that's going to have a general idea of what your portion size is, but you have to know your body. So that's why it's important for you to take your time when you're eating. It shouldn't just be I'm just eating like blah, 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 blah. It should be an experience. You should be able to have this aromatic experience of what you're eating, smelling it, tasting it, really absorbing all of the different flavors that are coming together in that meal for you. And then realizing, okay, after I've eaten this meal, how do I feel? Am I feeling emotionally distressed, or am I feeling calm? Am I feeling sleepy? So there's a lot of things that go into eating that a lot of people aren't aware of. So for portion size, I will definitely put the link for the My Plate in there, and that will really kind of give you a foundation of where you should be at with your grains, your vegetables, and your proteins. So thank you for asking that, Irina. Your next tip is to get a scale when you're food prepping or anything like that, even if you're just prepping for one day ahead, or if you're prepping for 2 weeks ahead, getting a scale so you know what your portion sizes are and how much you need to have as far as, your meats and all that stuff. And sometimes it's going to be surprising, like a handful of rice is the recommended amount for your grains. A lot of people eat way more rice than that. Rice is super easy to cook, and it's super easy to take down. You put a little salt and pepper on there and you're good. So just be careful of that. And using a scale will be eye-opening for you to see how, okay, wow, I'm eating, 3, 4, almost 5 times the amount of food that I should be when this is the recommended amount. So getting a scale will definitely help you with your meal prep. And then pre-planning your meals. That is probably the biggest thing that will help, because when your meals are planned, then it kind of helps you to skip that whole phase of, oh, well, I'm hungry. What am I going to eat? I don't know what I'm going to eat. I have to cook, or am I going to get fast food? Am I going to do this? Am I going to do that? When your meals are planned and they're in the fridge, all you have to do is pull it out of the fridge, warm it up, and eat it. So getting into a habit of that is really great. Sometimes it's time consuming, it can be, but it's also very satisfying to cook your own meal, put something together that you created, and then be able to eat it and know that one, it's healthy for you, and two, know that it's actually fueling your body and not more than you actually need. So I'll go down those tips again. So we're going to put our food on a smaller plate, which is going to be visually helpful for us, so we know, okay, my plate is small, my food covers more of it, I'm going to get more full. Reading our labels, making sure we're actually getting the recommended servings of our food, drinking water before we eat, taking out any of our takeout food, we're actually going to replate it onto a smaller plate so that we can see how many portions we're actually getting when we order food. Stop eating when we're satisfied, getting a scale to weigh our food, and then pre-planning our meals for meal prep and any type of, just if your meals are prepped, I promise you, it'll be a lot easier to, number one, stay consistent. Number two, eat enough to fuel your body, because essentially that's what we're trying to do is fuel our body, not just eat for flavor and taste. Those things are great as well. Yes, you want to have that experience, but the food that we eat is supposed to fuel us so we can be sustained to do, our boot camp at 12 or muscle sculpt at 5 p.m. or any of our other fun classes that we do. So we really want to focus on that. If you have any questions, I'll give you guys a minute or two to put some questions in the box, and I will put that My Plate website in the description so you guys can go check it out. It's a really good site. You can go on there and check how many calories you think you might need for your body type, for your activity level, for your age and everything like that. There's a lot of great resources out there, but that's probably going to be the best bet for you to learn really how much should I be having of this salmon? How many ounces of this salmon should I have? How much of this rice should I have? How many ounces of these vegetables and these fruits am I supposed to have? Because, people say, oh, vegetables and fruits, they're so healthy. Yes, but if you have 6 apples with peanut butter and then you go and have like 4 bananas, that's still too much. Everything is too much outside of moderation. So we really want to be careful with that. No problem, Irina. I guess that's it. Nobody has any questions. If you guys figure out any questions after you've watched this and you want to know any more information or you want some more resources, just let us know. You can send us an email and we will do that for you. And that's Coco's Tale. And thank you so much for joining in. I hope that these nutrition sessions are really helping you, because that's probably the biggest thing that people are struggling with right now is food. So we hope that you guys are taking these tips and sharing them with your friends. Make sure you hit up our Facebook group as well with any of your cool recipes that you're coming up with or any of your questions or anything like that. And we hope to see you soon. Have a great day, guys.